Welcome back to From the Depot podcast.
Whoa, dude, chill out.
Sorry, I just decided I'd bring in a lot of energy right off the bat. And you shouldn't have brought snacks on the podcast because I do think that's probably one of the rules of podcasting is you're not supposed to be eating.
Are you serious right now?
Well, you made your own beef jerky.
This is Gus' famous beef jerky.
Can it be famous off the first time?
Yeah, I can be famous. Are you looking at this? Man, hear this jerk? That's jerk right there.
It doesn't sound as gross as I thought it would. Because it's so dry. It sounds like a cartoon eating noise. Like crunching an apple.
Yeah, it's taking me a while. It's taking me a while to get down.
I decided the best hair care product is concrete.
Are you serious?
I grinded an
We're
entire...
jumping into hair care already?
Yeah.
Okay.
I grinded an entire concrete floor today because I was prepping it for epoxy, which I had never done before, but my client didn't know that, so I had to be very confident and pretend I knew what I was doing, and I very quickly did find out what I was doing. It's kind of hard, but it's not that hard. That's how I'd describe it. Kind of hard, not that hard. But I got a lot of concrete dust literally everywhere. My crack is concreted shut right now.
Are you
But
serious?
my hair is like boom, straight up.
It is. It's
Boom, straight up.
It's got some serious volume.
Yeah, and it's actually really hard and heavy. I think it's like ASNSI rated for
ASNS rise rated?
ANSI rated for
Oh.
yeah, impact and impact up to 3 meters.
It looks like you got struck by lightning.
It felt like I got struck by lightning. I was stressed out today.
Maybe you should have worn a hat.
I was going to wear a hat and I forgot to grab one, and then I was like, I guess I'm not wearing a hat.
And you went right into the dust
And I
storm.
went raw dogged the dust.
Well, you know, the new guys, they're starting to use the powder as hair care products. It's like a baby powder formula, and it gives it more texture, more hold. And concrete, I could see being a powder form. I could see it doing that really well.
Yeah, and concrete dust, let me tell you, it's hard to deal with. I had a full face respirator on. I still was like, man, that's a lot of concrete dust. It's heavy. It's dust and it's heavy. It's very strange. It's very strange, but I guess we'll move on from that and get right into the news. Gus?
Joe Biden has passed away as of today. And wow, what are we going to do?
And here's what we're going to do, Gus. Actually, just right before some breaking news, right before we got on, it turns out that today is just the first day we found out he's dead. He's actually been dead for the past 2 years, and they've been just propping him up and making his lip move a little bit.
That's an April Fool's switcheroo right there.
Yeah.
You thought he was dead, but really he's been dead for a while now. All right, man, be jerking, man. I need to. Oh yeah.
That it is April 1. It's April Fool's Day.
It is. I got fooled at the gym today. Someone was spreading rumors that they saw somewhere, and it got around the gym. And the dude told it to me. I was like, that sounds a little bit crazy. I was like, whatever. And then we got fact checked.
Wait, they spread rumors that you were somewhere?
What
What did they spread?
Hold on one sec. I need to close this bag up.
Yeah, you're eating an insane amount of beef jerky on the podcast.
Man, it's high in protein. Hold on one sec.
Let's see what you got for charging. One thing I like to do on the podcast is not have anything charged before we get to it, and then have to deal with that the whole time. Stressed out.
Yeah, what was I saying? Oh yeah,
You said that someone at the gym
Someone
started-
came up to me at the gym, and they were like, "The Michigan football stadium is getting expanded by 30,000 seats." I was like, "Holy frick, that's insane!" Because the Michigan football stadium is already the biggest college stadium in the country.
Oh yeah.
So it's like I think it's like 103,000 or something it holds, and the plans were to do 130,000. And we were talking about it. I was like, that doesn't even make sense because the last time they redid it, they had to widen the bowl.
Yeah.
And then the end zones are boxed. They're big, they're wide, and then they have the box seats at the top. I was like, I don't even know how would you fit 30 more thousand seats unless you went straight up into the air.
Yeah.
And so I was just thinking about it, but I'm like, whatever, they'll figure it out. And then he came back, and he's like, God dang it, that was an April Fool's joke. I've been telling everybody. I'm like,
That's kind of a really weird April Fool's joke.
Well, it's like a sports joke. Another guy came up to me, and he's like, our quarterback, the Lions quarterback, they're like, he got traded to the Commanders, and that was like sports guys April Fools, and we're all like, no, he's not traded. No. So that was also April Fool's.
I didn't get April Fool's. I didn't April Fool anybody, but my biggest thing about April is that it's the first of the month, which means all these bills and stuff are due, which I just hate. So I'm working on getting rich. That's what I was up to today, grinding concrete. I think I'm right at the point where I'm breaking even on this job because I keep spending more money on this job.
Yeah, it's a good program as long as you got to spend money to make money, and the recipe of making money is breaking even. That's perfect.
I like that a lot. That makes me feel good because that's exactly what I've been doing. And
I've been doing it all my life. Come on now.
Yeah, bought another motorcycle. Not running. Title's not in my name yet. It's fun, and I don't even care.
Oh.
Sorry, that was just some stress. I had to get some stress was leaving. I was trying to pretend I wasn't stressed out.
You got real tight for a second.
Sorry.
Oh, wow.
More stress coming out of my body.
Man, I think you need to relax.
I cannot relax until I make my first M.
And your first M?
Yeah.
Your first money?
Meatball.
You've already made some meatballs. Swear to God. I already know you made some meatballs.
No, I just decided the other day that I'm going to act as if I was a millionaire and lost it overnight and have to grind my way back. And I can't believe I don't have millions right now.
But you don't know the path yet.
Well, I'm working.
You're on the path.
But it's making me desperate and making me stressed. And now I'm working on trying to get $1 million.
Why are you so stressed? This is not making any sense to me. It's just the life of starting a business. It takes time and it takes a while. And if you're stressed, there's no reason to be, because in 5 years, you're going to be like, why was I stressed right then? Because I'm not doing a whole lot. I'm just kind of hanging out. I'm grinding concrete, not that big of a deal. And the rest is history, and tomorrow's a mystery, so today is a gift, and that's why we call it a present.
I like it. Another big news. NC State is winning Mad March.
I can't believe you even brought that up. As a non-sports guy, I can't believe you just brought that up.
I know. It means so much to me. And I know that there's a lot of podcasts that all they talk about is sports. I don't even know much about sports, but I will tell you this much. I went to NC State. I saw them there, the basketball guys, because I used to go to the same food hall they went to, and they were obnoxiously tall, and they were just the women. Usually I'd be there with the women's basketball team.
Oh, yeah, they're
and
good.
And they were towering over me.
They were?
They had these little backpacks on, and they were trying to look cute, and they were 8 foot tall. And I was like, you're not cute.
Oh, my God.
You're not cute. I kept saying that to them. You're not cute.
I'll probably cross them up straight up.
They punched me.
What?
Well, they didn't punch me, but I used to get omelets there. And I was looking at, April Fools. I got you guys. April Fools. TikTok. They're trying to ban TikTok, but I haven't heard anything about that. Have you heard anything about that?
Yeah, I've heard some stuff about it. They're trying to get TikTok banned, and they're trying to get especially TikTok banned for under 14-year-olds.
See, I heard that they were trying to get ByteDance to sell what they own of it.
Well, they said the CEO has to resign from TikTok, or they're going to ban it from the United States. But obviously, it's in the courts, so it's probably not going to do anything. But I don't think that's the greatest idea. I mean, I don't think TikTok's a good thing for Americans in general, but it's your choice if you want to get stupider and get propagandized, and that's your choice to spend 4 or 5 hours on there a day, and you could not do it. Just
Yeah,
why
you could
why
just
don't
not do
why
that.
don't instead of trying like getting it banned, why don't you just tell people it's probably not a good idea to do it?
Probably don't do that. Yeah. See, TikTok, I've never fallen for the trap except for that time that I did. I used it for maybe a couple months, and then I decided that it was really sexual, which so I'll say this.
Every app.
Every app I use is super sexual.
Oh, they try to get you so bad.
And I'm worried it's me, but I'm also know other people who say that it is. I'm worried that like I look too long at it and their algorithm's like, we got them.
Got him.
Because I've been on my Facebook. I've been on Facebook recently because I was looking at Marketplace a lot. And so every once in a while I would just scroll a little bit on Facebook, see what was going on Facebook. And it is broads. It is famous broads. It is famous broads with their nipples kind of showing a little bit. It is famous broads with various bathing suits, or I got famous broads with accidental like little bit of stuff hanging out, and I'm just
Oh yeah. I mean, that Sydney Sweeney is all over my goddamn Instagram.
Sydney Sweeney's on your Instagram?
Yeah.
Because she's all over my Facebook, and I don't even like. Obviously, she's an attractive lady,
The melons are back in town.
but she's like, I don't want to necessarily see her that much. Because
honestly,
I don't even know her.
I'd rather see third world country people getting hit by cars than Sydney Sweeney all over
at
my
least that's
Instagram.
fun.
At least it's a good time.
Yeah. Otherwise, I'm just kind of like looking at her, and I'm like, I don't even know this girl.
And as a guy, I have to. It's my responsibility to click on the video and watch for a while, and it's not fair that they do that to me.
The ones that I hate the most that I will admit I've watched maybe one or two of them, but they're just constantly on the feed, so I just get opportunity to watch them all the time. So I was curious a couple times. It's the slingshot ride.
Oh yeah,
They crank it down. It's at the base level, and it shoots you up into the air. You're in this little pod with another person, and then you kind of sling back down, sling back up, sling back down, and they all have cameras on them that are watching the people. And there are so many videos of these girls getting on the slingshot ride without proper breast containing equipment. And so they go on, and they're like, their breasts are going all around, and then sometimes they come all the way out, they pop out and go back in. And I'm just like, wow.
How can they keep getting away with this?
I'm like, why is this my entire Facebook feed? And I was just trying to find broken Hondas to buy. And now I'm sitting here, I'm 2 minutes in to a video wondering if she's going to have a nip slip or not. Doesn't. So I'm just like, man, that's gross that I even did watch it a little bit, and that they posted it, and I'm sure it wasn't them who posted it. It's probably the creep running the ride who's like downloading all the video at the end of the day. Like, I got this girl. I just see her nipple on my ride today.
Yeah, this goddamn Marcus, the crack monkey.
Yeah, he smoked 75 cigarettes and gave a bunch of drunk girls rides on the slingshot, and then he's posting videos.
Like, ramp it up. Sometimes their jugs fall out.
Yeah,
it's not a good time.
It's all hypersexual, but that's what I was gonna kind of get into, is that when I was on TikTok, it was these girls walking in like it was all backlit, and they were all wearing like see-through dresses, and they would like just walk through, and you could see like a silhouette, like a very vulgar. I don't even know how they figured out how to do that like cinematically, because you could see like full outline of everything, and I feel like that's kind of difficult to do, but they were nailing it, and that was like what I got shown first on TikTok with zero algorithm.
Yeah, that's how they suck you in if they know you're a male. And now with the new social media terms of service, where your camera is always on and it's watching your eyes, where your eyes are darting to. and it just knows what you're looking at and what you want to look at. And so, you're scrolling. As a man, there's slingshot lady with her jugs flying out. You glance at it a little bit longer than maybe your moral conviction should be, and then they're like, we got him. This is how we're gonna get him sucked in. For for a lot of us, it's the India and the third world countries, dudes on motorcycles getting hit, or I don't know, them riding a bicycle off of cliffs or whatnot. They show me a lot of that, which is good. I like that action.
Mm-hmm.
I like that action a lot, but they definitely get me with the jugs on the Instagram, and it's very obnoxious because I'm not there to see that. I'm there to see like you're scrolling on your homepage, and it's like there's my friend, and the giant jugs.
Yeah.
And then you scroll, but you're like, that's not my friend, and she's just in the video. And she's like sitting in front of the camera with like a really low cut shirt, and she's just like doing this.
Yeah.
She's
It'll
just
be
like bouncing around, and you're like, what? What is this?
It's like the most they can get away with, and it's not get flagged by Instagram.
It's absurd.
And then you got I keep getting these videos on Facebook where it's like this Latina woman just got out of the shower and she's like drying off with a towel.
Yeah.
And then like every once in a while the towel will go to where you can see an areola a little bit, and then you can see like crotch a little bit. Like it's like full. If you did all the little slips, you see the entire body. And I can't.
Come on, son.
I can't really completely figure out why they're posting that. I feel like Meta might be the biggest distributor of pornography on the internet.
It's very possible because
between Instagram and Facebook,
I think I have an unlocked Instagram, but still, it's like I thought this was like it's a for everyone app, like it's a 13 plus app or whatever it is on the App Store.
It's supposed to be, yeah.
And them showing that crap out. Oh my God, are you kidding? Also, I found out from Reddit that Instagram with their latest update did like a privacy terms of service update, and they're now blocking. So you have to go deep in the settings, and you'll go like setting. You go like 4 layers deep, and there will be like political posts, and it's turned off. So it's like you can't see. They won't show you political posts. And by the way, political posts to them are literally any sort of meme with any politics in it, like any foreign affairs, whatever. And I was like noticing my freaking feed was so vanilla. It was crazy. I was like, am I back at like square one when I was 12 scrolling on this crap? It's like, it's ridiculous. And then Reddit showed me that. I went on it, turned on political posts, and as soon as it went, it was like all the memes that I get, all the best crap and everything. Most of it wasn't even political, but they're just like hyper filtering it, and they have it on with their newest update automatically.
Well, are they blocking it for both kinds of both like sides?
What do you think?
See, this is where I think if they were blocking it for both sides, and you could have a little bit less people freaking out on social media for politics, and you can still turn it on if you want. I have not like a well-founded opinion on it, but I don't necessarily hate it right off the bat. But if it is a trick to be able to block one side and not the other, which I could 100% see them doing, that's a huge issue.
That's what they are doing, and you get, even if it's like okay, if they block both sides and you don't want you don't want to see all that crap, you want to be a little bit more cordial on Instagram. It's still the algorithm or whatever they have set up doesn't know the difference between a meme in a political post.
Yeah,
It doesn't. It can't differentiate for some reason. So it's giving you giant busty lady with her cans on the table instead of my Indian guy, driving off a cliff or whatever that I want to see. That's something I go on there for. So
also, we're coming up on election season, which you got to look so close at everything that happens during this time. And it would make a lot of sense if a company like Meta was like, hey, it's time to block all political posts.
And I was right in the nick of time.
And then all of a sudden, what? Some stuff is getting through, and it is everything that they agree with. And they're like, sometimes our filters don't work. It's like a way to get away with choosing
I know.
what
it was
goes
like
on.
It was like the Google AI thing where
That was funny.
Where they were doing the Google stuff, and they're like, bring up a picture of our founding fathers. And it was a bunch of like black dudes in a room.
Yeah.
It was like there was a bunch of examples of it, but
They asked to see a bunch of Nazis, and there was like a Chinese Nazi.
Yeah,
and
it's like the PC AI went wrong, and the employees just came out and were like, they said, we don't know what happened with it, and we don't know how to stop it or whatever. And it was like, whatever, dude. You freaking programmed that in there. You coded that BS like PC crap in there.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? You don't know what happened. It was like, if you code like a truthful AI system, a truthful AI algorithm based off like all these data models or whatever's online. Well, that's what we have now is the language model.
Yeah.
And if you code that to the internet, it's going to decipher truth from not truth and what have you, and it's going to spit out like exactly what happened when it happened, as far as it knows from all the data.
Mm-hmm.
But like you look up on say OpenAI's and you're like, give me a picture of the founding fathers. Boom, founding father. You got all the boys sitting there, white as can be, wigs, whatever, pen and feather, ink and quill.
Yeah.
And then you type into Google's crap, and it's a bunch of black dudes over there. Like it just doesn't make sense to me that they would claim that they didn't do anything. They're like, I went rogue. The machine completely went rogue. We don't know what happened. Why is a black guy? Why is a Chinese guy a Nazi? Blah, blah, blah. Shut your mouth, dude. You programmed it to do that. You're responsible. Don't freaking play ignorant with me, buddy. I'll come to your house. I'll blow you up. Here we go, FBI list.
It's Daquan Franklin. They got Jamal Hamilton on there. They got
Corvarapis Jackson.
I love it. I think it's funny to watch these PC attempts fail because I think that PC culture is inherently unnatural. I don't think we're supposed to have filtering of our information. We're not supposed to have like this is allowed, this is not, blah blah blah. I don't think we're supposed to be in a cult as like this giant cult that we're in, this cult of information about being politically correct and not hurting anybody's feelings. It's funny to watch it implode on itself because I think that that's a natural thing to have happen, where every time you get a group of people in power that have somehow managed to affect everybody, which happens actually all the time in history, like in all different types of people have found their way to power through some creative means. In this case, we've got like media and politics and all of that stuff conglomerating into this they, right? And it's funny to watch it implode on them because I think it's going to. There's no way to control humans at such a massive scale without it imploding.
I know. It seems like every time you build something or make something based on lies and political correctness, it just completely combusts, like you were saying. But like, there's never been like, there's never been a machine that is not based on truth of whatever physics, and you can't build something that defies physics
Yeah.
because it doesn't work.
Yeah. By definition, it doesn't
By
work.
definition, so coding in PC to these machines, and PC not being the most truthful.
PC isn't based in logic. That's the thing,
It's
right?
not. No.
So you're coding in illogic to a system that is built on logic, and that's like having a giant splinter. Like
It is, and it's always going to come back to the logic. It's like you can build a machine illogically, but at a certain point, it's gonna come back around to the logic, and then it's gonna explode. Like if you build a wheel, like a square.
Yeah, it's like we gotta have all these square wheels because the square and the circle haven't been even for the past couple years. So we're doing square wheels, whether you like it or not. And then people are crashing because they got square wheels, and they're like, they're like, oh well, that might be your fault for how you're driving. Maybe you should be more.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe you should be more accepting of the square wheels. And you're like, are you serious? Is this actually what you're saying right now? That it's my fault? Because I want a circular wheel?
It doesn't make sense. It's not how physics works. It's not grounded in truth. It's the way. Back onto the election, what the frick is going to go down? I think I have an idea of what's going to go down, but I want to hear your take.
I'm getting more and more upset that I'm feeling more and more like everything is a ruse.
Oh no.
I'm talking like non-partisan. Like I think that more and more I'm thinking that the people who are controlling what's going on are definitely not conservative. They're not liberal. They're not librarian. They're not Green Party.
Librarian.
They're not anything. They're just based. They live in power as their currency. Not even wealth. Power. They're beyond wealth. And you have these people controlling what's going on, and you have these people, these men who are playing the wealth game still, like Donald Trump, Joe Biden, Vivek Ramaswamy, and you have
Al Gore,
and
Soros,
you have
Gates.
Bobby Kennedy. These guys are, whether you like it or not, they're playing the wealth game. They're motivated by money, so you can control them if you have unlimited wealth pretty easily. I think that there's something going on that we don't understand, because what's going on doesn't make sense. Like, it doesn't make sense that, oh, there's all this power that is trying to shut down Donald Trump, but they can't. Like, it keeps not working. You'd think that they would have enough power to shut him down if that was what the powers that be really wanted. And then you have this dude who's actually might as well be dead. I keep seeing the retirement home memes that Donald Trump is posting to his Instagram about Joe Biden. It's like senior living home, and it's the White House. Yeah. It's hilarious, but it's like this dude is actually obnoxiously old. He's not sound of mind. Like, this shouldn't be something that everyone should be able to see. It's the first time in a long time, I think, first time that I've ever seen, at least, that the White House is just straight up lying, and it's so obvious because you can't hide someone who just, you can't pretend someone has sanity that doesn't. And he shouldn't. I mean, he's had a long life in politics, whatever his politics are.
50 years.
Like that's enough stress to ruin anybody. I don't care what side you're on,
what
whatever.
I call a donkey brain.
It just seems like none of it makes sense to the layman, which I consider myself. And so I think that there's something, the simplest answer is that there's something
there's evil
going
afoot.
on that that nobody is privy to. Like the layman is not privy to what is going on right now. Because there's all this news and stuff and none of it makes sense, and it's just making me mad at the other guy, and it's making the other guy mad at me, and then I feel like something's going on. Something deep.
Well,
that's how I feel.
Well, that's what they call the deep state. That's the deep state right there. What you're describing. But they did a 6-month health checkup on Joe Biden this past week, and his doctor told him that he is very psychologically robust. He's athletic.
What?
He's ready to rock.
He can ride a bike again?
He is. Yeah, he's
Take 3?
That was like a quote is he's very physically robust and sane of mind. And I was like, wow. Bro, I just thought of the clip where he's like signing a bill or something.
Yeah.
And he's like midway through signing the bill, and he looks up at his like Secret Service guy with the pen, and he just hands them the pen. And the Secret Service guy's like, "Thank you." But it would look like the most old senile thing that you could do. He's like
Yeah,
he just like has this pen, and he's like, "Here."
I like when he starts walking the wrong direction. Like, it's not weird for an old guy to act super old. That's normal. But it's weird for no one to acknowledge it. And I know that they don't have a backup plan. I have this, thought that I think everyone did, where the whole point is that they could elect Joe Biden because he was a white guy, and the white guys, that's the whole thing. It's like easier to get a white guy in because every president ever besides Obama has been a white guy. So they're like, let's vote this white liberal guy in, and then
who was under Obama,
he
by the way.
dies. Yeah, he was under Obama, but they're like, he dies, and then here we go, backdoor woman president, and not only that, but she's a person of color as well. So it's like you get this backdoor plan, and then immediately they realize that wasn't gonna fly because
her approval rating is like
her approval rating
9%.
No one's ever seen approval ratings that bad. So now they're like, oh no, we have to make this guy last 4 years. Yeah. So I feel like their plan backfired in their face, and now I don't see a way that freaking CCR Donald Trump doesn't just blow up a victory. I keep hearing all these, like, I remember when like Lil Wayne was like, Lil Wayne.
Yeah, what the frick?
I remember when he was like kind of liked Trump, and everyone was like, man, fuck Lil Wayne. I'm never listening to Lil Wayne again because he likes Trump. Or like Kanye. There was like a couple.
Kanye, Lil Pump.
There was a couple black guys that were like, I kind of like what he's doing. And now it's like every time you listen to an interview with like a rapper or someone who's very influential in the African American community, they're like, I kind of mess with what Trump's doing, and everyone's like, you do? And they're like, yeah. Like
it seemed like everybody forgot that the dude was a really famous, well-loved celebrity before he did all this politics, like the politics stuff, and now that he's involved with the UFC, he's like close to Dana. He's just kind of all over the place, doing cool stuff. I like the guy's policies. He's hilarious on Twitter. You can't hate him or love him. You can't say that he's like a corrupt dude. The dude was famous. I mean, he's a celebrity.
Yeah.
He's a big business guy, which is good for, overall good for the economy, good for the country. I feel like he just likes America. I think when there's a dude that gets rich, being in America, I feel like they grow an attachment to the country more. That's why I like kind of the big businessmen running the country, is because they're not going to even when there's been a big business guy in there, I feel like they haven't swayed the laws towards them as much. It's more been like, I want to just protect what's going on right now, rather than like a progressive like we've had for the past 4 years gets in there and he's like, let's just like flood the southern border and do proxy war and send like an unimaginable amount of money to all these strange items that really don't help the country. Even right now, like being as objective as I can't see one thing that this establishment has done that has helped Americans or helped America as a whole. Like, not one thing.
Yeah, even like one of the big things they were running on was student loan debt forgiveness, and I've got a decent amount of government student loans, and I remember when they were going to do it, and I was like, well, I mean, if everyone's doing it, my morality said I shouldn't do it, but the government has so much debt already, it's insane. So I was like, it might drop in the bucket, it's not going to do anything. And then they got shut down. So it's like they didn't even do that. And I have the student loan forgiveness thing is the wrong approach. I think they need to stop marketing schools so much, and the public school system is convincing everybody to go into this private school system. And even I went to a public college. NC State's a public university, but it still costs an arm and a leg.
I think the cost of tuition needs to come down. Like the absolute overinflation of tuition, even between one generation. My mom went to Michigan State for $5,000 a year for school.
Yeah,
I think it was less than $5,000.
Mine was nowhere even close to that.
And you get a 4-year education, and you're out the door for like, I don't know, $15,000 for 4 years, which I don't think that's over the top for that kind of education, even though the education is absolutely nothing right now. The kids are not literally doing anything. They're
not
cheating.
Jobs.
They're literally cheating off everything. They're doing absolutely nothing, and it's ticking me off. And they're getting in just unbelievable amounts of debt for it, and they're not paying it off. And then interest rates come in, and of course it's the government, so it's you can't go bankrupt. You still have that. You'll always have it, no matter what. And these people that don't know anything about it, going in, the high school tells them all go, and then they go and they come out and they're like, "Holy frick! I've got a a drama arts degree, or I have a goddamn what is it? What's that stupid degree?
Liberal arts.
Liberal arts.
Well, it's like you are financing a Dodge Viper now, but you don't have any money. You're not making any money, and you don't get to drive the car.
Yeah,
you just have a piece of paper.
It's literally just not cool at all.
But I mean, I get the draw, and then that's what I like about community colleges is that their campus isn't that big. They don't have much overhead to run it. Like NC State has some state of the art like machinery, and there's so much going on, but the average person going through the school isn't using all that stuff. Like they've got all these labs with all these crazy research things, and the people in the upper classes are using it. Like the people in the master's classes are using it, and then you just have this giant conglomerate where they're funding the like master's programs with the undergraduates who are spending so much money to take like economics 101. So it's a really confusing, how do you handle that situation? Because there's a lot that goes into running a giant campus like that. I mean, NC State has a turbine that runs off natural gas that pumps steam all the way through the campus. They actually have 2 of them because they have 2 campuses. So they're like, that's how they heat and cool all the buildings. They've got all these steam running. Like, it's a big operation. It takes a lot of money to run that operation, but I personally could have learned it at like a high school. Like I could have learned the same stuff there because I was just doing undergraduate courses and I wasn't doing anything so crazy. I could have learned it online. I did because of COVID. I mostly did learn online. So I think they kind of just inflated what it meant to be a college. Like they were spending and just ramping up price while there was the demand of you literally can't get a job if you don't go to college. So they're like, these suckers are forced into it. We can charge them double, triple, quadruple, and in order to like make up for it, we'll just start super expanding what this campus is and what we can do there. I mean, they were building buildings while I was there. Like, a lot of money is going into there.
Yeah, the whole college thing really grinds my gears because now the pull for it is less to be an academic and it's more to party. I mean, every kid I know is like, they don't say it, but I know it is like they went to college to party and have a good time.
Yeah.
It's like that's not in my mind when I was making the decision to go to college or not. It was to get a academic freaking scholarship. It was to get educated, or it was just not. Or I could go the work route, which I ended up doing. But partying was never a draw for me, which it is now. It's totally a draw. Why would you go to ECU if you live here?
Literally just
why party. Would you go to ECU? Why? I mean, it makes no sense.
The only program that I know of at ECU that is like nationally recognized and very well received is their medical, like, nursing program.
I agree with that.
But I'm pretty sure that's a 2-year program. And so, like, if you really need to get it done, you can go to a community college, get all the requirements you need, and then go to do the 2-year nursing program, and you're not that bad off. But man, they sell it as like you got to take all your general requirement classes at this 4-year college, and you're spending, 4 or 5 times what it costs at a. It's insane, and then banks giving people loans. I can't believe how easy it is to get a college loan. It's insane.
Hello, sir.
100K. You got 100K here. You're good to go. And then they're dumping the money literally into your bank account. And you're 19 years old. You're going to use that to pay rent. Like, you're like, oh, I guess I'll get an apartment, because literally everybody's getting an apartment because there's this giant apartment deal. So you're like, yeah, of course I'll be living in an apartment, I guess. I remember saying, like, maybe I'll live at home next year. And, like, everybody I knew was like, nah, don't move home. That's crazy. Move home. We're in college. Blah. And I'm like,
that's the best party.
I'm like, you're right.
Yeah.
And it's like that whole thing just blew out of my head. But, oh, man, during the COVID years where I was paying the same and I was living in that apartment that I signed a lease for already, and I'm working. I'm doing, like, work from home for school. I'm doing Zoom classes. I can't believe that I got scammed so bad.
Only thing college is good for is sports. You can't change my mind.
I think it's good for what it's good for, but it's overpriced and overpromised. It's good if you're doing a STEM, if you want to go into a STEM field, you want to go into a healthcare field. I get the college path still makes sense, but you need to not fall victim for the, like, oh, spend all this time at a 4-year college. Like, figure out the cheapest way to possibly get that degree and then finish it off at a school that looks good on a resume. Whatever, you're still going to spend way less. Live at home or live cheaply and get it done for as cheap as possible. I think you can easily pay that off. I mean, you get into that field and you've managed to be, like, under $40,000 in debt, you can pay that off a couple years. One of those two fields.
I don't know if there is or not, but I hope there's, like, third party like medical places that you can go to get this same education that you can get within that time frame, and just kind of cut the fat, because it just seems like a lot of fat.
There's a lot of those classes, those technical institutes that are trying to fill that gap, but they're not accredited, which to me means, which I'm going to actually look that up before I say what that means. Accredited university.
It's like accredited by who?
Yeah, that's what I don't know.
Yeah.
Accredited university, let's do meaning. Accreditation is the recognition from an accrediting agency that an institution maintains a certain level of educational standards. The U.S. Department of Education maintains a database of accrediting agencies it recognizes. So it's a government thing. That's what I thought. So you have like all these little technical institutes that aren't accredited, which means that they are just teaching based on what they think is right, which probably is really good. It's probably great. And if the school itself figures out how to get a good reputation, they're pumping out good people, it might be a great thing to have on a resume. But a lot of them are just for profit. They're like, look at all these people making all this money. We'll set up this little tiny campus where our overhead is nothing and charge half, and we'll be making our margins are way bigger even than a big school. So those little schools can be even sleazier because at that point, like, even if, you know, even if Clemson rips you off, you still have a degree from Clemson, which means something, especially if it's a degree in something that you need a degree in. But you go to this little institute that rips you off, they only charge you a quarter, but you still have a little bit of debt or not that much debt, and you're just not getting a job. It's almost a worse ripoff. It's like a worse deal, less money.
But these people are coming out of D1 schools and not getting jobs either.
Yeah, which is the crazy part because of the push towards college that I was talking about earlier, where everyone's like, you literally can't get a job unless you go to college, which was real 20 years ago, maybe 10 years ago, maybe 5 years ago even. You could not get a serious job without a college degree. And so they had people convinced, everybody was raising their kids. The people who didn't have a college degree were like, you need one because I didn't get one. And the people who did have one were like, it helped me out so much, I'm telling you, you need one. So now everybody, even a lot of people who can't afford it, hence the student loan crisis, everyone's going to college. So now you have this weird situation where everyone is qualified. So now somebody needs to be extra qualified to get these competitive jobs. I remember hearing that for mechanical engineering, there is a super like deficit of 15-year plus senior engineers. They could not find enough people that were actually really knew what was going on and had actual job experience. And they were just flooded with people straight out of college. So like, it's random chance you get one of the jobs.
Yeah.
And you worked 4 years and paid however many $75,000 to get this degree, and now that doesn't mean really anything unless you have a bunch of other stuff you're doing at the same time. But on the flip side, you have this whole market of like the trades. Smart people in the trades are able to make a killing.
That's it. April Fools, everybody. Oh my God. April Fools, we got you. We got your money. Joke's on you. We gave you a piece of paper. You don't get a job. Happy April Fools.
Mm-hmm. You gave us 4 years of your life. You gave us financial servitude. We give you nothing. Let's go. We made a bunch of money out of somebody. Fooled them.
Dap each other up. Oh my God, it's going to get crazy this year, let me tell you what. The sun is back out. We're playing some volleyball and riding the motorcycle, and I can't believe it. I can't believe the sun's already back out. Yeah, and we made it through the winter.
Yeah, let's end with some positive stuff because I feel like we've been really...
I was getting a little ticked off, I'm being honest. Yeah. I was getting ticked off, and I don't want to be.
No, I don't either. I truly don't either. And I think that, yeah, this weather today has been making me so happy. I woke up and I didn't put a sweatshirt on first thing in the morning, which, you know.
And wow, you just couldn't.
I couldn't believe it. I never have worn a sweatshirt at all today, April 1st. No sweatshirt at all. And that's not an April Fool's joke.
That's not
no
April
sweatshirt.
Fool's.
Very exciting. And I had my windows down in my truck because my AC doesn't work. And I'm just back to being too hot, which I would much rather be.
Yeah.
I was sweating today, like dripping a little bit of sweat. And I was like, yes, it's warm.
I was sweating a bit. I was listening to a couple of audiobooks, man. I was just in the zone. Let me tell you what, I've never been in the zone before, and I was in the zone, baby.
You've never been in the zone
I've
before?
never been in the zone, but I was in the zone today, baby. I was dialed. Well, I usually get dialed. That's the thing. I usually get dialed. I never really get in the zone.
Oh, that makes sense.
Last time I was in the zone, 2014 Dodgeball Championship. We were in a tournament, and we win up to our fifth final game. I have never been more in the zone than that game. We have a video. There's actually a video. It might be on my Instagram, might be not. And it's of us, of the dude chucking the ball at me, me catching the ball because I was so zoned in, and the crowd goes wild. We got $600 from that tournament.
Did you actually?
Yep. Thank you very much. I'll take that. Let's see if it's on here, actually. It's probably not. I'll probably fake you guys out again with another fake video. No, it is. And that was me catching the ball and knocking him the frick out. Oh, we went 10-0, by the way.
Insane.
10-0, and then the next year we came back, they nerfed us. They got rid of the real dodgeballs and got these weird foam balls.
Yeah.
And we just had a little bit bigger of a team, and they shrunk the court. So it they totally nerfed us, and we lost. And guess who won? The freaking gymnasts won because they're all small. They're all small.
The ladies?
No, they were dude gymnasts.
Oh.
They were like backflipping all over the walls and stuff.
Yeah.
If they would have been, they had such weak arms. If it was the same rules balls, we would have smashed them because we could stand. We had some sluggers on our team. We'd stand at the back line. We would run up and just 90-mile-an-hour dodgeball right to his face, dude.
We used to do PE in elementary school,
God.
and that dude, Mr. Bobbitt, would come up with the craziest stuff for us to do. The dude was big. That dude's gut was, I've never seen a bigger gut, and he was the PE teacher.
He probably ate one of the kids.
Well, he would drink these sweet teas from McDonald's, like constantly had a, like, 42-ounce sweet tea, like
Jeez,
the
boy.
extra big one.
Half
So
gal?
that dude was eating so much sugar through his tea, and he would always have us do the best stuff. We did dodgeball. My favorite was, you know, the trash cans with the little things that they clip into, the casters at the bottom?
Yeah.
They were basically like that, but there was these little square carts with two little handles on them, and they had 4 casters on them, and you would sit on it, hold the handles at your butt, and just kick around the floor.
Oh.
And we would do like little races, little circuits on them. We would do
that's
like
kinda fun.
Sometimes
That's
it was
kinda
just
fun.
free for all. We would do we would get a what's the, not the parachute, what's it called?
Yeah, it's like a parachute. The big thing?
The big
Yeah.
circular thing?
Yeah, and
It is
you,
a parachute.
you run under. Yeah.
You lift it up, everyone lifts it up, and then
Yeah.
you put it under your butt, and you're in a little tent with everybody, and it's the parachute.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, that thing was
We did all
cool.
kinds of fun. And then for like a week out of the year, we would have the like president's fitness thing. So we'd have to do like push-ups and sit-ups and pull-ups.
Oh, yeah,
and
the
stuff.
presidential fitness test.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. I never did that, but I know I could pass it with flying colors. Hey, let me tell you what, though. My buddy used to work for, talking about the parachute deal, my buddy used to work for a bounce house company. And one time he's like, dude, I need some help manning these bounce houses at this school or whatever. And I'm like, I freaking got you. Showed up 5 a.m. and set up these bounce houses. And then I was manning the one where you dress to get up in
the
a
Velcro?
in a suit, and you chuck them at the wall.
He lands on the wall.
So
I used to love that one.
So the kid, I'd get him suited up, and I'd grab his crotch, and I'd just freaking chuck him at the wall, and he'd just freaking get sat there, and he couldn't get down. He'd start crying and everything. I'd say, "Come on down, buddy." I would rip him down. I'd take his clothes off, and then I'd do the next guy. And I just said, "Keep coming, keep coming." And I would chuck one after the other. I don't know if you were supposed to chuck them or not, but
usually I think you were supposed to jump at the wall yourself.
Oh.
I think it probably would be too dangerous to chuck the kids at the wall, but I think that they probably had the best story of all time. They'll tell everybody for the rest of their life. This dude didn't understand the safety protocol.
The parents were like looking at me weird. I had like little Jimmy by his ankles.
And you were chucking him at the wall. And everyone was like, but the kids were probably having the best time ever.
Oh,
they're trying to outlaw having a good time. And
they were, except for the one kid that I kind of miscalculated the angle on which he was going at, and he just kind of speared into the wall with his head. He's gone now.
Yeah, I had a good time today. I'll say this to it's my last point. I was doing, like I said, I ground the concrete, put epoxy down, and the epoxy that I did, you put down epoxy and then you put down a bunch of these vinyl flakes. And the guy that I was working for, he was super nice actually. He was giving me like waters and gave me like a banana and an apple and stuff. He was super cool. But at one point, he was kind of like watching me as I was throwing these vinyl flakes down, and I couldn't tell if he was happy about it, not happy about it, or just interested. Couldn't tell at all. But I was just like thinking about how to diffuse the situation a little bit. And I was like, "Hey, man, you want to throw some?" And I hand him the little bucket I'm throwing flakes at him. He's like, "I do actually really want to." And I think there was like some spots where he was thinking were like low spots, but my plan was to go back through. And so I was just throwing out.
So it was just Tyler and this Indian guy just chucking
we
together.
Were chucking together. And then he was
like, they're in the meadow picking flowers.
I was like, it's pretty cool because now you're part of the floor forever. And he was like, "You think my kids could do it?" And I was like, "Absolutely." So then there's just like these tiny Indian kids throwing flakes into the floor. I thought it was really a good way to handle it. I felt proud of myself.
It's really endearing.
Because I was mixing the next batch, and they're sitting back there doing the flakes.
That's good. You fooled them.
I fooled them into doing the job, and now like I wanted to like tell me. He kept asking me. He'd be like, "Do you think you're gonna like do that spot?" And I was like, "Yeah, like I'm planning on going back over. Like I'm gonna continuously go back over until every spot is hit. Like just lots of rounds of going back over so that everything's super even and it's not like me just heavy-handedly like doing spots." But I didn't explain all that to him. I was just like, I'll be back around to that spot. But it was fun because when I gave him the flakes, like he was just focused. He was just trying to get the spots.
He was locked in.
Yeah.
He was locked in like he'd never been locked in before.
Yeah, Osama bin locked in.
Osama bin tiled.
Yeah. So that's what I got for today. Gus, do you have anything else you want to tell us about your jerky or something maybe?
Dang, I put the jerky in the oven at 180 degrees for 4 hours. It came out, it's pretty good. I got to do a little bit more trial and error with the flavor profile. But other than that, I mean, $10 for 3 pounds of jerky. It ain't bad!
And that ain't bad. So, guys, I'm sorry about last week's episode. It got cut short. I spent a long time trying to fix it. The video file got corrupt, and the software was dying. I restarted my computer, exported it maybe 7 times, and then I just decided I would upload it how it was, and that's why it was what it was.
Why was it was.
Okay, goodbye, guys. We'll see you next week.
6, maybe 9, maybe 6, 9, 4, 5, 6, maybe 9 times.